Hello YouTube, it's your boy B3, back with another kicking graphic novel review. Last time we did the Venom tie-ins for Absolute Carnage, and we did Absolute Carnage before that. So now we're continuing on with some more Absolute Carnage tie-ins. Absolute Carnage, Scream. Yeah, so this is basically the book for all the Life Foundation symbiotes. More than just Scream, actually. Quick read-up of the back of the book. The return of a classic symbiote. And it'll be a Scream. Years ago, Patricia Robinson was unwillingly bonded to the clone of Venom that eventually became Mania. And she's been living in fear of symbiotes ever since. But she's also been living with a secret. And with the coming of Carnage, she must take a stand. Patricia will have no choice but to confront her demons head-on. By harnessing the power of Scream, she may think she knows symbiotes, but nothing can prepare her for Null. Plus, since the conclusion of Deadpool vs. Carnage, 4 of the 5 Life Foundation symbiotes, Riot, Phage, Agony, and Lasher, have been bonded to a stray dog wandering the Midwest. But as Carnage descends on New York, the siren song of Null is calling. Collects Absolute Carnage Scream 1 through 3 and Absolute Carnage Separation Anxiety by Cullen Bunn, Clay McLeod, Chapman. Sorry, these are kind of small. Gerardo Sandoval, Alex Azamendi, Brian Level, Victor Nava, Eric Akinungia, and Jordan Boyd. Sorry, I butcher names on everything. I am sorry for that. I always butcher names. But yeah, so the Scream book got some cool art. Scream's waistline is drawn a little weird. Like, the waistlines of the people Scream attaches itself to become, like, way thinner. It's very odd. But yeah, Scream is brought back from the dead by the Grindel symbiote, rises up, etc., and is under the control of Carnage. So she's going around causing just that. Carnage. Patricia Robinson, symbiote hunter, is out and about. Apparently she's always been preparing to hunt symbiotes and is now finally doing it. As it said on the back of the book, she wore the clone of Venom, which eventually became Mania, then Maniac, you know. And she sees a bunch of the Carnage drones and Scream trying to kill people. She fights them. Snaps that symbiote onto herself. The Scream symbiote attaches to her, and she becomes Carnage's pawn. But then, Andy Benton shows up. We actually already read the book where Carnage tried to get her. We already reviewed that in Venom Unleashed Volume 1, which was lots of setup stuff for Absolute Carnage. Because, Andy Benton used to be Mania, then it was taken from her, but she still has the Hell Mark, and she can summon demons and, like, hellish weapons and hellfire and stuff. So she uses them to fight the Carnage drones, and then Scream, she tries to help snap Scream out of it, but then, when she does, Carnage shows up and kind of just puts Scream back in the trance. A lot of this was fan service, I'm not gonna lie. Hypersexualized, Scream, and then there's one panel that's just the cover of Amazing Fantasy 14, I think it's 14, First Appearance of Spider-Man, where it's like Scream swinging through the city with her hair with Andy under her arm. And yeah, a lot of fan service in this book, but event tie-ins can be like that, especially when they're bringing back a character like Scream. But yeah, Carnage shows up. They have to fight Carnage, which is rough because Carnage is immune to fire and stuff now. The Grindel symbiote fixed that. So he fights Hellmark, Andy, and Scream. Kills Patricia Robinson, I believe. The Scream symbiote attaches to Andy, which is cool. It's nice to have Andy back in a symbiote. And she escapes Carnage. And that's it. And there is a Scream miniseries that happens after Absolute Carnage, which I'm definitely going to read soon, because that's dope. Scream definitely deserves the miniseries, Definitely deserves it. And then we get the story of how all the other Life Foundation symbiotes, got where they are. So in Absolute Carnage, we find out that those symbiotes were attached to just like a regular suburban family, and then we get the issue that shows how that happens. So a little girl whose parents are always arguing and stuff, and her mom is taking her and her brother away from their dad. The dog comes up to her and she's like, "Good dog, you can come in the house and comfort me." Then the dog sees the parents fighting. All the symbiotes that are controlled by Carnage and Grindel and stuff rip out of them. One attaches to the mom, one attaches to the dad, and they're chasing the kids. One attaches to the brother, and they're just like psychologically torturing the little girl. And eventually, one attaches to her. But the whole time, the symbiotes are like, "This is what you wanted. The family back together again, truly connected." And it was really horrifying. They ate a person. They tried to force her to be a cannibal. It was a fucked book. It was gross. But it was really cool. You guys know horror comics are some of my favorites, which is why Venom's my favorite comic character of all time. Because he's pretty horrific. Donny Cates' run is horror. For sure. So much drama, and it's such a great book. And the end of it is them like taking a road trip to the Big Apple to fight for Carnage. Pretty cool. I thought it was fun. I actually like the Separation Anxiety one-shot better than the Scream miniseries, because the Screams are 1 through 3, and then there's the one-shot. I really like that, it was pretty damn cool. The Scream stuff, it basically just felt like a cheap way to get Scream back into the universe, which is fine, because I want Scream in the Marvel universe. I want as many symbiotes as possible. The symbiotes are my favorite thing Marvel has. So gimme. Plus it was a symbiote event. It was the perfect time. It was the perfect excuse. There was a lot of stuff in Absolute Carnage paying homage to things. Like there was definitely a lot of influence from Carnage Mindbomb and Absolute Carnage in the event. So I'm glad they brought her and the other Life Foundation symbiotes back. But hers was basically just like, "Hey, look, it's Scream. Scream's back. Cool, read this." But I am glad Andy got the symbiote at the end. It's nice to have her back in symbiote stuff, which means hopefully she'll be appearing more often. Because I like her. I need to review the Land Where Killers Dwell Venom book with her in it. And then the one-shot with the Life Foundation symbiotes, Absolute Carnage, Separation Anxiety #1. It was awesome. I absolutely loved it. Sorry about the fly. I'm sorry, Jessica, there's a fly crawling all over your head this whole video. But yeah, that's it. Thank you all very much for your support. Remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. Check out all the cool links in the description below. Facebook, Twitter, etc. All this Absolute Carnage stuff says it's like T for teen, but to be completely honest, it's probably more like M for mature. Like, the only reason it's T for teen, I think, is because it's... Like, if it was live action, it'd be R. The only reason it's T for teen is because it's drawn, to be completely honest. But I think most teens could handle it. Honestly. But that's it. Thank you all once again. I got more stuff coming. 2 more volumes of Donny Cates' Venom. Venom First Host. The first volume of a Demon Slayer. And I still got to review that Aliens Omnibus. I'm just taking breaks between the stories in the Aliens Omnibus, because it's like multiple storylines, strung together. That's what an omnibus is. But yeah, we'll get to it. So that's it. Thank you all once again. See you all next time.